Sheffield United look set to sign 24-year-old Brazilian midfielder Vinicius Souza, dubbed the Brazilian Montgomery by some. He's coming on a 4-year contract from Belgian side Lommel, who are part of the City Group. We clearly have a strong relationship with the City Group, as this window already we've signed Larouci from Troyes, and last season we got James McAtee and Tommy Doyle on loan. Despite being a Lommel player, he spent the last 2 seasons out on loan. The first loan spell was at another Belgian club, being KV Mechelen. Uh, I'm not from Belgium, so apologies if that is a poor pronunciation. He played 35 games for them that season. The second loan signing is where he impressed most, at La Liga club Espanyol. He played 37 games for them last season, getting 1 goal and 1 assist, 8 yellow cards and 1 red card. When looking at his key strengths, when compared to other players in Europe's top 5 leagues, he is in the top 3% for aerials 1 per 90, top 5% for interceptions per 90, top 2% for tackles per 90, and top 11% for clearances per 90. He's a defensive monster, and if we want to stay up in the Premier League this season, this is exactly the sort of player that we need in the squad. And now moving on to his weaknesses, he has an issue with discipline. He averages 1.9 fouls per 90. In comparison, the club's current highest fouler is Anal, who only averages 1.2. So essentially, Souza has double the fouls per 90 as Anal does. Additionally, he doesn't offer a huge amount beyond the defensive output. He's in the lowest 13% for passes attempted and the bottom 35% for pass completion. However, I think with the way that we're going to play, his lack of creativity may not be a huge issue, because if he's playing at the base of midfield, then he can just lay the ball off to one of the wing backs or one of the number 8s. And then talking about how we're going to line up next season, like I've said, Souza is a defensive midfielder and he's going to play at the base of midfield. As we can see from his heat map from last season, he only really occupies the middle third of the pitch, rarely venturing further forward than that, and will occasionally drop deeper. Interestingly enough, he's also played centre-back at certain points of his career and more of a central midfield role, but I think the way that we're going to use him is going to be as a DM. Slimane will play as a left-sided centre-mid, and whoever ends up being the berge replacement will play as the right-sided centre-mid. It's difficult to say right now, though, because we lack a lot of players in midfield, so we don't exactly know how we're going to play, but it'll be something like that. Moving on to the fee, some Brazilian outlets are saying that the fee is around £10 million, but Alan Nixon is being quite strong, saying that it's closer to £5 million. Either way, I think that's a really good fee to pay considering the quality of this player. I mean, this player could be the difference between us going down and staying up. That's how highly I rate him, because this is the sort of player which will keep you a clean sheet. We're going to be a really dirty team next season, and that's what you're going to have to be to stay up. Looking at Max Lowe already, Anel already, Oston Trusty, all really high for fouls, and then add in Souza as well. I think we are just going to have that bit of grit about us to stay up in the Premier League, because although we don't have the quality, we're going to have to find another way to compete with some of these teams. And then where do we go from here? Despite what some people are saying, Souza is in no way a replacement for Sander Berge. Sander Berge is a right-sided centre midfielder, or that's where his best position was. So that's what we need to go out and get. Gustavo Hammer from Coventry is an option. He's 26 years old, in the final year of his contract, and a fee will be around 10 to 15 million pounds, but that deal is still in the very early stages. So I wouldn't expect that to be done before the Palace game, for example. But yeah, just overall, just to wrap up my thoughts on this transfer, I think this is a fantastic transfer. I mean, as I've said, the stats speak for himself. He's clearly a really good player. And I think he slots straight into the side. He'd even be the first name on the team sheet, you could argue, especially in midfield. He adds so much defensively to us, where if we're playing with that back three, and then we've got Souza in front of them covering, I think it gives us a really good chance of staying up. I mean, my optimism after losing Berger was low. If we get Souza in and we get a Berger replacement, I think I think we have a chance of staying up as opposed to no chance like we did before. So good transfer all round, and let's hope we get a few more good signings across the line.